Okay, going live now. This is going to take a minute or so to propagate to YouTube. Okay, yep. Looks like it's not quite a minute yet. That's good. So, welcome to this live stream where we talk about Blender stuff. Actually, specifically the VSE and specifically 5.2 alpha. So I just put out a video this past week about 5.1 updates that we have, and that was a more polished version. I did my live stream about that a few weeks ago. This is the live stream unpolished version of just exploring what 5.2 has to offer, and I'm really excited. I watched the Blender Today with Pablo Vasquez talking about the VSE and the new features that are coming on the VSE, and some that aren't strictly for just for the VSE, but they cross over to the VSE. So that's really cool there. Let's see here. I just want to make sure. Let's see. I need to make sure all my stuff is working here. I think it is, but okay, let's go out of this mode and let me go here. We can do this and see if, okay, good. My head has to disappear if I have this over here. And you can do that automatically with OBS, which is what I'm using. Anyway, so let's see. Let's go back to YouTube. Let's see. We've got, I don't know if BlendCirc is in the chat right now, but if you are, welcome back. We had a great chat last live. And today I have a moderator too, if need be, which she's just going to help clue me in on maybe some questions that people are asking if I'm not paying attention, because sometimes I get too focused. So here we can start at blenderdeveloper.org. Sorry, developer.blender.org. And this is something that I learned on Blender Today when I watched it, is that they have a new roadmap button here, or link. And this is if you want to follow certain roadmaps that Blender is going on. So we've got the Android platform, if you want to see some updates about that. We've got hair dynamics, if you want to follow that. Just different projects that if you wanted to follow, like OpenPBR surface shaders and things like that. They've got quite a few of them here, so I have not looked at this yet. So highly recommend going there if you want to see what kind of work Blender is doing all across the board. That is this. See, VR. This is something I really want to keep up to date with, because I'd love to do some actual VR. I bought a VR headset like years ago now, because I wanted to. I wanted to play Half-Life Alyx, but I also wanted to connect it to Blender and start doing some VR stuff there. Oh, here we go, video sequencer. So we can come here and see let's see what's in development here. And of course, because my VPN. And I may have to disconnect my VPN if this goes too slow. Okay, so this is just specifically the compositor modifier, it looks like, which is something we'll be talking about today, and all the updates they have on this, because it's really cool. But yeah, I was kind of hoping. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's go back. In development. Okay, so yeah, it is just specifically this. I was kind of hoping that there was like more, like a running kind of list of stuff there, but it doesn't matter because we're going to go there now. So if you're on developer.blender.org, actually this is code.blender.org, but if you go to developer.blender.org, go to docs, and then release notes down here. And then we'll be doing 5.2 LTS And as you know, LTS is long-term support release, which is amazing because I'm glad they chose this one, because the VSE got so much, is going to get so much better in 5.2, as you will see. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So I just clicked on the sequencer, the video sequencer, and it takes you to this page. And this is what we're going to use to kind of go through and test out some of these things. So getting started, let's, do I have Blender pulled up? I do. Okay, so this was for my thumbnail that I was using. So we're gonna, let's just, I guess, save that, and we're just gonna do new video editing. And let's test this out. So we can actually test this first one out. So it's a new compositor effect. So if you're familiar with Blender, if you're familiar with the VSE, let's just add in some colors. And I'm not putting my screencast keys up just because I've changed all my hotkeys. Plus, this is just exploration of different things. So it's not really a step-by-step tutorial. But we're gonna choose two different colors here. Well, let's do like a pink and blue, I guess, like that. And if you're not familiar with, or if you are familiar with Blender, you'll know that if you select two strips and you press Shift A to add, you can add an effect strip, and this or a transition. So either or, it's different. Like effect, you can add, subtract, multiply. You can do kind of a color mix. You can do the same things that you can do like on like different overlays and stuff. But this is the one that was used the most for the VSE. So you'd have a crossfade or a wipe. So put the wipe here, and then this is what that looks like. And it's its own little strip on top of both of them. And so if I change the length of one of the strips, or I move one of the strips, you can see that the wipe will adjust. So these are called effects strips. So then this is if you wanted the wipe to be longer, you could do that, or if you want it to be shorter, you can do that faster. And this was separate from the compositor node. So recently, in 5.0, we now have a new compositor modifier. And all right, okay, hold on a second. I got some messages coming in. Hey, is it planned to get the compositor modifier GPU accelerated? It's so awesome. It's just a shame it's so slow. Oh, my friend, I have some news for you today. So the short answer is yes, but it's limited by the compositor itself. But we'll get to that. And I'm just gonna have a quick shout out to my moderator. Just speak into the speaker. Just speak into the mic, I mean, to get my attention. But yes, that's a good question. We're going to go over that today. But for the compositor node itself, you create a new compositor node, and then there's no extra. Thank you. There's no extra effect strip. Like, it's not extra. It's, you see this compositor modifier is now on this strip, but you don't see it extra. So what they've done now, let's just pull this out though, so we can see it. Compositor, sequencer, and here we go. And by the way, again, you actually have to have the strip selected in order to see this here. So this took me a long time to figure out like, okay, I have it on sequencer and I was trying to select this one. I'm like, I can't select it. Why can't I select it? Well, it's because this color strip is not using that. I have to select this one. And then in the stack, so if I have like another, color balance or something, I have to actually have the compositor modifier selected in order to see it. So a lot of things have to be selected in order for you to actually see it down here, just as an FYI. So let's see. Let's just scale those out a little bit. And this could be something like, trying to think what I would use this for here. Camera, let's just do a vignette, so we can put a vignette on there. There we go. That's easiest to show. But you see, there's no extra strip for the vignette. However, now if I just delete this, now I can select two strips like this. I'm going to call this vignette. Vignetti. I always have to say that because I don't know how to spell it. Vignetti. Vignette. Okay. Now I can add in, we have this new compositor effect strip, and it works just like the wipe, except for it doesn't do the wipe. It's just, a compositor. But now I can add in, let's see. Yeah, I can put it here. I can choose my vignette here on this compositor one, and let's just get rid of it from here. But now it's on this one, although I didn't add it into the modifier, so that might be a little bit confusing. I don't know. I think it's supposed to add it here. If I get rid of it here and then just add it here, like this. Oh yeah. No, that's right. This is separate. This is just showing the node tree. But I do have to have this compositor modifier on here. So yeah. So now we have something like this. If we wanted to do, now if we wanted to do a wipe or a transition, it would be, like this. So I'm going to do, the easiest way to show this is actually to do a mix color. So color, mix color. And we have the image here, which is the first image, which is not showing here just yet. But if I do my mask input, no, hold on. How did we do this? Okay, hold on. I know. Okay, so we have the mask. The mask has to go into the factor. Right. Oh, I think I have to create a new one. I think I have to create a new one because what is it? Whoa, rounded square mask. No, that's not what I want. Let's do compositor. Let's do new. Ah, yes. Okay. The reason you have to do a new one is because it has specific inputs. So now we have our two inputs. We've got input 1 and input 2. And so input 1 would be whichever one you had selected first, and input 2 would be selected second, except I think it's the active one is first, your first input, and this is the unactive one, but selected one is the second input. And they've already changed this, it looks like. Unless hold on, if I delete that. No, input 1. I don't know where input 1 is in here. Because, yeah, there used to be an input 1 and input 2, and then you could switch the two. So I don't know. Well, we'll just see. This is what I was going to do anyway. Sorry. So we're just going to do the color, mix color. And then input 1 and input 2. So this is your, whichever one that's calculating. And then your effect fader is what plugs into the factor. And so now you can see it fades in from one to the other because we're using a mix value. And as you know, a mix value, the factor, the 1 is fully the second input, which is B. And if I go to 0, you can see it's A. And we actually have a new indication too. See, at factor at 0, you can see A is highlighted and B is grayed out. But as I move this, now both of them are involved. But then if I go to 1, then A is grayed out and B. So we know that 1 is 100% B and 0 is 100% A. So then we just take this effect fader and plug it in, and then that is what uses this to transition between the two. But they must have updated this since yesterday because this looked different than yesterday, and that's just the nature of alpha, Let's see. I think it's meant to be used with. By the way, Jan3K, welcome to the chat. Hey, it's okay. I think it is meant to be used without the compositor modifier. This is sick. This even is more intuitive than DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, I haven't used DaVinci Resolve. I know a lot of people do because it's really powerful, but I really do like the direction that Blender is going. I mean, there was a time where I thought, they're probably going to nix the sequencer, but once they did the whole story blocking and storyboards with the VSE, that's when it took off, and it's like, oh, we want to actually implement this into Blender, and I think that's one of the best decisions they've made because it just makes it that much more powerful and that much more able to replace Adobe, because you can do your video editing and your visual effects and your CG elements and all of that stuff all within the same program, where you'd have to use the full Adobe suite to do a lot of the stuff. And you can do it for free, and it's also you can do it on any computer. You don't have to worry about licensing issues. I just love it, and that's why Blender is just amazing. But okay, so here's this, and now the reason this is good, instead of just using the compositor modifier, the effect strip, now I can change on the fly. I can change how fast or slow this is, and with real-time results, like if we want a quick fade, if we want a slow fade. And this is very simplistic, but if you have something like an iris where it expands or contracts or whatever for a transition, you could do that same thing with a time ramp. So anyway, that's the first thing there. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. So that's the effect fader input. So this is I guess I can play this, see if this is the. Yeah. So here we got a tiled fade, which I don't really know how to do. I'd have to look at, let's play that again. But this is going to help with a lot of transitions in the VSE. So, oh yeah, here we go. So this is, I guess I could set it up like this, but this is your node setup. You'd have your group input. You got your input 1 and input 2, which used to be named image 1, image 2. Plugged in to image coordinates, pixel, snap, white noise texture, all of this stuff, and into another mix, and then using that with the factor. Okay. So anyway, moving on. Compositor modifiers and effects within VSE can now use GPU acceleration. Haha, there you go. But what I was saying is it's controlled in the same place as the regular compositor execution. So it takes advantage of the way the compositor already uses GPU. So you come over here to options, and then you choose your device to be CPU or GPU. And I don't exactly know full precision that for final renders, half precision otherwise. Okay. Oh, I see. So if you're not doing a final render, it's, I guess it just, I don't know how it automatically detects that. But having said this, not all nodes take advantage of this. So okay, cool. By the way, if you hear me talking to nobody, all of a sudden it's my moderator. Also my girlfriend. So if you speak German, she can translate that for you to me. So finish the thought here real quick. The GPU will only be used for nodes that can use the GPU. So they're trying to make all nodes be able to respond to this, but still it's only certain nodes do. I think it's a good majority of them. But if you have a complex like node tree, then depending on, there could be bottlenecks in there that can't use the GPU. So just keep that in mind. But I have noticed something, and I might actually, let's test this. Let's I can do and translate. Okay, yes. I think it's a great idea. I've been manifesting this compositor modifier inside of the VSE for years now, and finally it's coming to life. I know, right? Like, this is VSE is now getting some good love and attention. I think it's a great idea, and it makes Blender truly Swiss Army knife for not only 3D but also video editing. Yes. Yep. If anything that can replace like Adobe Premiere and After Effects all in one program that's free and open source, yeah, why not? And I keep saying this on every live stream. I'm like, I'm planning on doing a series called Do It in Blender, where you can take, I just look at my favorite After Effects, like visual effects, and just do it like using the 3D part of Blender, and then mixing that with the video editor to edit a scene and putting live footage and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. Okay, let's see, where are we on time here? Let's all right, we're all about a half an hour into it. So I don't know how much we're going to actually get through. I was planning on going only an hour, maybe a little bit longer, depending on what we do. Okay, I wanted to test this out though. So bear with me here. I'm going to try to find, was it my tutorial? Blender. Well, I think it was. Yeah, let's just let's open this up. I don't need to save that. Okay, so I recorded my outro and intro separately. I'm starting to do that more recently, but I've got several compositor nodes on these because that is not my real background. I was kind of trying to make it seem like it was, like, oh, this is my room behind me, and I do want to actually eventually model an actual studio in Blender, and to put it in the background, and make it realistic, to kind of be like, oh yeah, I really have this like cool setup. And I don't. I really don't. Someday I might actually really have a cool setup, but right now is not that time. Well, it doesn't seem to be Eh? Oh, shader editor. That's why. It's not the compositor. Okay. So here I've got some keying out. This is if I turn off, actually, I'll show you what this actually looks like. So I'll turn off the compositor and I'll turn off the brightness and contrast for this. Oh, and then I guess I can hide that. Nope, not this one. There we go. Why? That doesn't look like it's changing the brightness and contrast of that. Is it because I need to refresh? Or am I just not seeing that? Huh? I don't know. Anyway, there's the green screen. So what I want to do is I want to try to, let's turn these back on. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be even doing anything when I hide those. This might be a bug, actually. Unless, oh no, that's render. Okay, there's another, they must have added this. Because there used to be only one button here to turn it on and off. But this works more like the 3D. Now, I'm just learning this now. This looks more like the 3D for the render. Yep. Yeah, you're faster than I am, Jan. Yes. So here's the preview, and here is the render. Interesting. I don't think that was in. Hold on. I don't think that was in 5.1 because I've been doing this for a little while now. Let's just add a color. Compositor. Yeah. See? Brightness, contrast. Haha, that's really cool. Oh, well, I like that update too. Because this is more consistent with the rest of Blender. There we go. Okay, so turning the compositor off. This is lovely face right there. Okay, but having it on and having the background on, I want to see how fast this renders, because this rendered really slowly. It took about 12 minutes for this 48-second render. I want to see what that's going to look like now. So I'm just going to, we'll do 5 there and render. Test. Oh wait, no, this is edit 3. Crap. This is something that I don't like, because you're changing it. You have to change it here and you have to change it here, and there's no way to lock them together. And I've asked about this before, but people were just like, why do you need to do that? It's like, well, that doesn't matter why I need to do it. Just it's very useful. It's very difficult to remember that I have to change this up here when these settings are different. So this settings can be different than these settings, and it's just confusing. So, okay. This is going to be 605 test. Yes. Okay. All right, let's see how fast this is. And if I hover over here, let's get it going. It doesn't look like it's all that faster than 5.1. So, yeah, I agree. It gets annoying. Yes. So, I don't know. like when you suggest things to. Yes. Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. I can't. I keep forgetting that my moderator can't hear me for the first like 30 seconds or so. So she's helping me to pay attention to the chat. So, and thank you for that. But yeah, it doesn't look like this is going any, that much faster than 5.1. So, and I do have it on. Well, hold on. Did I make sure? Oh no, it's on CPU. There we go. GPU. Let's try this again. Now let's try. Let's try to. Okay. Yep. So it is going faster. But I also have my streaming software and other things on my computer that are taking up GPU. But it is looks like it's going to be a couple minutes faster, which is great. Oh yeah, see, look, I mean, it's already almost through that now. Sweet. Yeah, I like that. Okay, but we don't need to keep going on that. Let's go to the next thing. Let's see. Maybe you forgot to toggle GPU. Jan, you're always faster than I am. Like I'm slow. I'm slow, but I usually I get there. I get there. But you're absolutely right. I had it checked on for GPU on 5.1, but not 5.2. So I just now changed that. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Compositor modifiers now support arbitrary inputs, including menus, input panels with panel toggles, and more. The inputs come from the node group interface and assigned to the compositor. Okay, so this is like, I believe this is like geometry node system, which is great because the compositor modifier and the compositor nodes kind of act like geometry nodes in that sense. So let's see. I'm looking for some pictures here real quick. Yes. So look at all of this. The sequencer compositor nodes. You can output or input different things. So let's go to our other example. With okay, this is 5.1. I don't want that anymore. Let's just do a new one here. Get in our colors again. Let's do blue first this time. So let's do, I guess we can do the compositor. Let's do this one. And then add in a new one here. And we'll get the okay. So remember we had the mix before, the color mix color. So instead of using the effect fader, I could just take this factor and plug it right here, and look at that. I now have a factor that I can use as a slider. And if I'm here, oh, I don't like this either. Prefetch frames is automatically turned on, and it drives me up the wall. Okay. So we've got. It's kind of working. One should be completely input B, right? And okay, Jan. Why is this not working? I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for you to tell me because you're usually pretty good at um, figuring it out. um, but is it because I right input hmm, input two input? Oh well, it says input two is black, but why? It shouldn't be. It should be pink, right? Why is that? Is that a bug or is that? Am I just missing something? Clamp factor, clamp result. All right. Um. Well. Well, I mean, it is working with this input too, but this should be the input too. Because okay, let's do the effect fader. See, the effect fader works, right? And then now the input two is grayed out. Hmm. Cool, cool. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so plugging this in. Yeah, so this is taking this here. Uh, for some reason. I think you're right. I think that this is a bug. Um, but it is cool. So the point being is that if you have a whole bunch of other, I'm gonna do another instance of Blender so I can kind of go back and forth. Ooh, not that one. I want 5.2. Oh, you know what? I didn't even update 5.2 today. So hold on. Let's save this. Um, save this under my live streams. That's this one here, Blender. Okay. Compositor testing. Okay, and I'm gonna close this. Maybe the effect fader doesn't map to zero from 0 to 1. Maybe it's like -1 to 0 or something. Yeah, maybe. Um, but I'm gonna update it. So I'm using the Blender launcher. We're just gonna update to today's version of this just changes daily. So we'll wait for that. We'll look at this though. But basically, so just like geometry nodes, if you're familiar with those, you can take a whole bunch of nodes and then like put them as inputs and sliders to out so it's out in the main geometry nodes area, and that allows you quick access to your nodes, the ones that are the most important. And it's kind of like making custom properties, just mini custom properties. Not many, but mini. Well, you can make many too. Many mini custom properties. And this is I wish it would show here the actual nodes that are used to plug in here, but like integer, vector, string, menu. But this is going to be super helpful for. Look at, you have your animation here. You're animating these kind of each of these options. I mean, the things you're going to be able to do in the VSE with transitions and animations and stuff. It's pretty cool. Let's read some of these other ones. The compositor modifier extras menu now has an option to hide the node group data block selector, especially used for modifier assets where the selector is redundant. I need to visualize this. It says a simple toggle to turn off the data block selector. Okay, I wish it would show. I don't know which one is the data block. I'm guessing it's this one, where it says sequencer compositor nodes. I'm guessing it's that one. I don't know. We'll test it out when we get when this is finished. Timeline strip thumbnails are now shown to start to. Oh yeah, we've got that one too. So by default, these strip thumbnails went all across the strip, but now it's just at the beginning and the end. And I think you can still toggle. I think you can still toggle it to make it expand across the whole thing. Yeah, right here. So thumbnails, none, strip ends, or continuous. Yeah, we can test that out too. Let's see. Installed. Okay, let's go and launch this one for today. Let's see if they fixed. Let's see if they fixed this. Doesn't look like it. Let me try this again. I'm gonna select these and add in a compositor modifier. Okay, well that's working. See, this is what I'm wondering. Is the compositor, is it redundant to put a compositor modifier on a compositor effect strip? Maybe that's what's happening. But then I wouldn't be able to put like the extra factor out here, you know? Which I clearly can, but there's no way that I would be able to access this. So I'm guessing yeah, see then that takes over. I still think it's a bug. Because when I put these in here and when we have the effect fader in, that it works fine. It's almost like it doesn't. Oh wait, hold on. Let me try. Oh no. I was hoping that changing the effect fader to 1, maybe we change this. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much. It's probably on a different pane. Yeah, it is, but I mean, yeah, if I okay, if I plug this in and I get rid of this, that still seems to work. That is confusing. I'm probably missing something, or there's a bug. But what I can do is show. Let's do another instance of this. Let's do. Well, I can show this here anyway. This is kind of what I was going to do. So my green screen here, if I bring this out, if I start to plug things in here, like the key color, for example, boom, there we go. Now we have the key color right here. And I can keep bringing stuff out here, like the mask size, boom. Here's the mask size. And if I go into our group here, I can rename this to mask size. This is working just like geometry nodes. key color, mask size. Well, let's do this. This should be key color 1, and then key color 2, and then I will just move this up. So we got key color 1 and key color 2 right here. That way, once you have all of your nodes set up here that you want, you don't have to even have the compositor open anymore if you want to adjust. So now I can adjust the color here for color 1 and color 2. I had two key colors because the lighting wasn't even. So got this, copy and paste that there. That's what that would look like. But yeah, really cool stuff with that. Okay, what was some of this other stuff here? Strip thumbnails are shown at the start and in a strip by default. Oh yeah. Let's do it. I'm gonna open up another one of these. And open go to my live stream. Bear with me here just a second. Blender. Here we go. So this is the thumbnails here. So it's at the beginning and the end of the strip, and then we can come to our overlays here and either do none, strip ends, or continuous. This is where it was before, and it was up here. It says thumbnails, and it was just a on-off button. So that's cool. See what else. The compositor modifier extras menu now has the option to hide. Oh, right. I want to see that. Okay. Compositor modifier. Let's see. Oh yeah. You know what? See, this compositor modifier, or this compositor effect strip, I didn't actually add a modifier on it. And here's the input. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Add a compositor. This is where I saw you could switch the inputs. So color 1. So let's just to make this clear, let's just do blue or red, and then this one we'll call blue. And then so now we have input 1, input 2. You can swap those, blue and then red, which you wouldn't want to do in this instance. But if you accidentally set them up wrong, you could just switch them. So it makes more sense. And the default fade and the effect fade are here. So yes, I'm guessing. So this is the effect strip here. Yes. The problem is, so Jan, yes, that's what you were talking about on a different pane. But the problem is if I start putting different things in here, like before, what did I have? Oh yeah, the factor. If I plug this like in here, it's not going to show in here. It would have to show. It would have to show. I would have to put. Oh, look at that. Was that automatic, or did I put that on there? No. Anyway, regardless, it's not going to show on here. So you would have to add in your compositor modifier in order for this factor to show up. So this input 2 is still not recognizing this input to. And there's no, it doesn't seem any option to connect that. I'm trying to think if there's any way to, wait a minute, hold on. Nope. I'm trying to do everything that I can to to play around with it. So now both of them are black because both of them. Well, I guess this one doesn't have the compositor on there either. Let's just put it on all of them, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I want to okay, show node group. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this is the data block here, because you have compositor here and then sequencer compositor. A lot of this stuff is redundant in Blender, so you could just hide this to not be, and then you can name this I don't know, mix. But then here you still have to name it if you mix. I mean, but this would just be to show both of them. It's nice to have that option. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I think we've done all of these now. We're down here. Prefetch now also prefetches 5 frames before the playhead, making it faster to reverse by a small number of frames when editing footage. Okay. Yeah, I mean, prefetch frames is okay when I want it. I just don't like it being there automatically. So prefetch frames, okay. That seemed to go pretty slowly. But this is like more than 5 frames back. Can I just play it backwards? Oh, let's refresh. Oh, it does. Yeah, okay. It does automatically. Oh, but it also wraps around. It also wraps around. But anyway, that's good if you wanted to kind of play backwards. Yeah, that is a lot faster while you're prefetching frames. So that's cool. Text strips now. So, oh yeah, I wanted to. Oh, okay. We have to do this before we end here. Text, and there's so many good things with text now. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. And we're just going to use the default effect fader there. Okay, this is cool. So if I add a text, place it here and select it and go here, look at this. This is the best thing in Blender since sliced bread in Blender. I'm gonna let's see. Let's get rid of that and pull this down. We now have multi-line text. Oh, this has been such a pain to do text in Blender, but now I can just copy and paste a whole bunch of stuff in here and have like a multi-line title or whatever. Let me find some better text here. There we go. Okay, and so we've got welcome to Blender. Let's do it. 1, 2, and then oh, can I not? Oh, is it Shift? Yeah. So you have to hold down Shift. Blender Frenzy, and you can see it is automatically centered, which is awesome. And then and I can do. Oh, let's do this again. My name is Justin. And I can just keep doing that, and then I can have different. Oops. Gotta make sure I'm over here. We can change the, and then we can change the wrap width, which doesn't. Oh, let's turn this dumb prefetch frames off. The wrap width. Oh, there we go. Like that, which changes all of it, which is awesome. Change the size of it. And of course, we can do shadows and outlines and stuff like that too. But we can also change the alignment. So left align, right align. Same thing with our anchor. Top anchored. And that means that the origin point is going to be at the top. So if I scale it, it's going to scale from there. Bottom, same thing. And all of this is really, really super useful. So we can do the same thing with the origin. The anchor essentially is the origin. They just call it anchor here. So set all those back to center. And this is going to save so much work, because before you'd have to duplicate the text strip and then line it up underneath it. And there wasn't even a really good way to line things up that way either. So this is, I mean, you can paste, from my understanding, you can paste a whole bunch of text in here. Not only that, but let's do this. Oh, let's get rid of this and just do it with this one. So now we can, here, let's put this over here. See my big dumb face. There are presets. Corner title. Ta-da! Main title. Subtitle. Look at that. And I'm guessing, yep, you can add your own new preset for your videos. This is going to be super cool with like making YouTube videos and your own intro type stuff. So this is one of the best things. Okay. Let's see. No new comments yet. Let's go back here. Let's see. We have reached an hour, but we don't. Well, we won't probably get through everything today. I'm not going to do the scene strips today because I haven't really messed with this a whole lot. Strip modifiers on Monday. Oh, I'm being told that I should tease a second part on Monday. I can tease a second part next week sometime. I don't think Monday is going to work, but maybe we'll see. But I do want to. There's a couple of other things that I saw that were really cool. extras drop down menu. Oh, okay. Okay, just other kind of just little bit of consistency, quality of life consistency type stuff with Blender. Um, removed linear modifier strip option. So again, inconsistent. So you don't really have to go over that. We got the performance here. Something that isn't so the text is one thing that is across Blender. So it's not just the VSE. Any text now has this text box where it was just only one line and now it's multi-line, and that is really super helpful. They're also so this is also a part of them trying to create a solution to people making like TikTok videos, and the shorts, how they, you see the words come up on the screen. They're trying to do something like that within Blender, so you can have more control over, the script and stuff like that. Because I know that the AI models that do it for you, they often misspell things, and you can't, depending on what tier you pay for, you can't change them. You have like maybe limited options to choose from, but you can't change the text separately. So if you could do that in Blender, that would be another reason why everybody should just abandon all other software and use Blender forever. But anyway, so what the point is that this is all across Blender. Something else that is all across Blender, this is not just for the VSE, but I thought was really cool, is this now, these don't snap now. Like this, you used to snap right here to this one, not by default. So there now you can, when you change different areas, these corners don't snap, because what you can do, and let me open up another one like this. Let's just say that we'll change this one to the image editor like I usually do. So now I can let's pull this over here. So this one is snapping for some reason, but anyway, I think you can, if you hold down Shift, it will snap anyway. And then if I just drag this down, I can actually, this is not supposed to move by itself. It's supposed to be, or this is supposed to move just by itself. Maybe this isn't implemented yet then. But you're supposed to be able to like hold Shift and then, oh yeah, see that it grabs the other one? See how it grabs the third one over here? And then you can either do it separately or together and then separately. So it's doing it right over here. I don't know why it's not doing it, or why it's doing it differently over here. But this is supposed to be, separate. So like this. And then I can grab this one and then grab this one, and then I can move all of them down at the same time. This is really cool. Or if I let go, then I just use this and grab this and this one and this one. Oops. This one and this one. So there you go. That's that. I think that's all going to be all for today. But and again, this is still alpha, so they're still kind of adding things, changing things. It's going to be an alpha for, let's see, go to release notes, see schedule till June 3rd. So here's the schedule. So we've got alpha new features and changes until from February 4th until June 3rd, which is a little less than a month from now, and then it'll be bug fixing only from there. But and then bug fixing for, looks like, for a month, little over a month, And then of course you have the release candidate where it's kind of this is it's set now, except for emergency bugs. And then the real release is July 14th, which I'm really looking forward to because this again is a long-term support release, which means they're going to be supporting this with bug fixes for 2 years, and it's already really super powerful with the VSE. So yes, that is it. That is a good. So I will. Yeah, I guess I can leave it open for questions. If what would you like to see in Blender? First of all, if you are still here and you want to chat, what do you use Blender's VSE for? If you do, what kind of projects, and what would you like to see changed or added, if you wanted to? um, yeah, no, it's okay. I'll leave it. I'll leave it open for now. I'm gonna also go to something you might not know. I'm trying to figure out where this is. I might have to find it again. Docs. Is it under forum? Nope, I don't think so. Blog. Oh yeah, here we go. Weekly development updates. This is also really cool. You can go to different module meetings too. So oh hey yeah. So Tarek, thanks for the comment. Compositing tab is still confusing. Are you talking about the let me go back here. Are you talking about the compositing workspace here, this little area, the editor, or are you talking about the compositing modifier up here? I wish I don't like nodes in general. Oh well, um, so that's gonna. I love nodes, and I think most of Blender does, just because they have a thing. They've had a thing for several years now called everything nodes. So they're actually trying to implement a node-based system in all of Blender. So if you don't like nodes, that could be a problem. But so you're saying that just nodes, like the compositor editor itself is confusing. I agree, it can. I edit music and videos, and as far as Blender, the only reason I don't use it over DaVinci Resolve is performance. Okay, are you talking about performance in the fact that it's just faster to do things in DaVinci? Um, or are you talking about like just you like the workflow better in DaVinci rather than Blender? Because both are. I mean, I've not used DaVinci. Again, I've talked with people who have, and um, I know that it's a very popular editor. Um, but I don't have any hands-on experience. I like the nodes. They can be confusing, especially when it's like a lot. And I don't actually even know how to find that one that I had before. Oh wait, you know what? I have this open still from this one. Like it it can get really hairy really quickly. I mean, this is still pretty simple, but like you have all these nodes that are crisscrossing. Here's something that I don't know if you know that you can do. You probably do, but just in case for those who don't know, there's a couple ways that you can clean this up. So first thing is you can collapse these, of course, which you probably do know that. That can kind of clean things up. But also you can reroute these. If you hold down shift and right click, I think. Yeah, shift and right click. I wouldn't need to do it there though. But I'm trying to think of how, like, yeah, I maybe. Okay. This. So you can do things like this to make it so that you don't have a whole lot that much more crossover, of the different nodes, and you can kind of see where they go. Like here, this would be a good example. Put this here, and here, and here, and here. I mean, it's a little bit tedious to do it like this. But there, and so now it's just a little bit, this is a lot cleaner than it was before. You can also select everything and just scale it in all at the same time. Or select groups and then kind of pull them forward. But yeah, I mean, nodes are basically like visual code. But the other reason I like the nodes is because they're coming out with more like sophisticated node groups. If we go to let's go to this first edit here. So if I for example, if I take this and then I add in a compositor modifier, we're just going to do test. And here, if I, what I mean by this is I can add in a camera lens effects that are already ready to go. So we did a vignette before. Let's do a film grain. And so I can add a film grain right away. And I believe can I tab into this? If I tab into this, yep. So here's all of the nodes that make this up. And that can get really confusing, definitely. But someone's already done this for us. Oh, I don't do that. No, I don't want to go into it. I want to go out of it. How do I? Okay, I can go here. Okay, yeah. Let me look at some of this comments here. I never understood. Okay, I never understood why people don't like nodes. They're very cool and very intuitive, powerful. Before nodes, editing was fun. Or was more fun. Maybe it's those cables. Usually, it seems so complicated to me after After Effects. Well, okay. See, I actually have the exact opposite opinion, because nodes I can see visually what connects to what, even though if it may be like this, but there's a logic to it. What I don't like about After Effects is the fact that, like, you just have these panels that have, like, they're kind of all separated. It's just like, all of these panels, out here, but they're kind of just its own thing. And then you'd have to check each one alone to see if it's been altered or whatever. But with the compositor, I can see the logical flow and connection of everything. So I guess that's maybe why I like that. But yeah, I understand the cables. Yeah, it just gets a little like spaghetti all over your screen. Um, so anyway, I wanted to do one more thing before wrapping up, and I am going to wrap up here. So if you have more questions, ask your questions now. So weekly development updates and module meetings. Excuse me, I think. So you can go to each of the meetings. Oh yeah, and then it takes you to the modules. So here we go. Sequencer meeting 428. So that was the last meeting that they had, and you can go to the meeting and see what they talked about. And this is really cool. So if you want to keep up on what's coming up in Blender for the sequencer or any of the other things that they're working on, this is kind of what they talk about. So overall, there's an influx of new contributors for the sequencer. That's great. Also means more work to look at the new pull requests. And here's some examples of pull requests, which are just, changes or additions or whatever. Preview versus render modifier options. Oh, this is what took me a little while to figure out. Pointed out some inconsistencies with cache handling. So, 5.2 will likely get FFmpeg version update from 7.1 to 8.1. So just little things that they're talking about on what's coming up. Practical info. This is a video chat meeting for planning and discussion of the video sequence editor in Blender. It happens every 2 weeks on Tuesday. So, thank you. By the way, I love your channel. Tarek, thank you. I don't know how to pronounce the whole thing. Tarek Turiman. Tarek. I'm just gonna say Tarek or Tarek. Thank you. Appreciate it, and appreciate your engagement. I love talk. I'm going to do more live streams because I love hanging out with other Blender folk. Because it's very cathartic for me because most of the people in my life don't know what Blender is. So, but having said that, let's see. Can I switch this? See if I can do this correctly. Let's see. We've got this one, and we want to transition switch. Okay, there we go. Now you got my big head here, and I'm just gonna say, have a good day, night, day, wherever you are in the world. Keep blending and making Blender better. I don't really have any other words of wisdom, but thank you for joining. And so the next week I want to plan another live stream. We'll go over maybe some of the other stuff in 5.2, and then I will show you, maybe if we have time, I'll show you some maybe a little VSE tricks and tips. Something that I actually just with this last video I played around with, kind of like a template of sorts. That's really cool. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve that I might show next time. So, all right, see you guys later. Thanks for joining. And okay, I need to figure out how to end this end the stream correctly. Okay, the YouTube end stream here.